to a civic data science person, I guess. And in the learning process, I decided to take one of the city's easy to deal with open data sets, which is the Broadband speed test data, and have a look at it. So this is the Broadband speed test tool. For some of you who haven't seen it, you can go on there, fill in a few details, and then test your upload and download speed, and then the city logs it in all the records. And after you've done this, the city very kindly shows you this extremely sparse map of broadband download speeds. But of course, you can go onto data.south.gov and download the whole spreadsheet, or you can just use the API and Socrata, and you can draw some slightly more interesting conclusions, but probably very obvious conclusions if you know anything or used the internet before. So just a few bits about the usage of the tool. It seems to be pretty concentrated in the month straight after they launched it, and it's pretty much tapered off straight after that. You get maybe a couple of hundred uses a month, if that. And you can see that the highest concentration of use was on a Tuesday morning. They launched the tool on a Tuesday, so it was probably just a lot of excited city employees logging on and testing the broadband speed. And the other thing I thought was funny is Friday night, speed test night, for people logging on, getting that free broadband speed test fix after a long week at work. And then if you just look at the upload and download speed, you see a pretty obvious trend, what you'd expect. The vast majority of people, or, well, you can't see people here because there's no unique identifiers in the records, but the vast majority of records show pretty low speeds. Most people less than 23 megs per second download and 6 megabits per second upload. You can break it down by wireless and wired connections, which I guess is meaning whether you're using a Wi-Fi connection in the home or not. And you kind of, again, you see what you expect, which is you get lower speeds for the Wi-Fi connections and higher speeds for the wired connections. But what's kind of interesting is that across the three main ISPs, you have a very similar percentage of people using wired and wireless connections. So about 2/3 to a third. Then I decided to see what kind of upload speeds people get with their download speeds. And the first thing to note is the vast majority of the data is concentrated in low speeds. So we can just zoom straight on that, and we see these little bands coming out. They actually correspond, if you go onto, I think it's Comcast, Wave's website, you can see that their upload speeds are capped at 1, 5, and 10 megabits per second, so this corresponds pretty well. What's kind of interesting is that the other two main providers don't show that information, but they also have exactly the same capped off speeds right there, which you can see. Pull that out. The next thing I looked at is to see what kind of packages people's had, so plotting people's advertised upload speed against their advertised download speed. But this is something where people self-record the data, and whoever designed the tool, they put upload speed first and download speed second, and of course probably the first number most people think about when they fill in their broadband speed is the download speed first. And what you have is this strange mirroring, and if you flip this around, you suddenly get something that makes a lot more sense. So people have been putting the data all in the wrong columns. And so I went forward on the assumption that that was wrong, and this is right. If you then look at what people have been advertised and what they're actually getting, the first nice thing you can see is that most people have probably entered their advertised speeds correctly, because they line up with the arrows at the top, which are the advertised speeds from the providers, which are just looking at the website. But the interesting thing is you can see it doesn't matter what speed you've been advertised, you could just be getting anything, assuming that the people have entered or self-reported values correctly. If you look at cost, this is kind of interesting, but the thing that's kind of misleading about this is that there's no breakdown. For someone like Comcast, they offer big packages, including other entertainment bundles, and it's virtually impossible to get any kind of breakdown of that kind of information from this data set. So while you kind of get a rough feel for how much people are paying on average for the different providers, it's not really that helpful. Lastly, I looked at a brief little look at what happened over the time of day. What's kind of interesting is if you kind of do a bit of like looking at the data, you see that it virtually doesn't change across the day. I was expecting to see kind of peaks and spikes. Unfortunately, there's not enough geographical information in there to be able to look locally. Maybe you'd expect in residential areas the speeds to go down in the evening, and like business areas the speeds to go down during the day. started playing with color palettes, I called this one Midweek Existential Dread. And yeah, that's kind of it. The main conclusion I came to with this is that they designed a tool to do something. It could be really great, but it's just not that great. You could do a ton more with it, which would be really cool. I actually spoke to some people from the city about this, and one thing that they're kind of thinking of redesigning the tool and relaunching it, and I'm thinking that maybe a better idea is to push it for just 1 week or 1 month and try to get as many kind of people repeatedly using it over and over again in that time rather than just having this spike and then failing off. But yeah, that's kind of it. Thanks.